It's the NFL on EA Sports,
where we'll get a rematch of the first ever Super Bowl. It's the Kansas City Chiefs and the Green Bay Packers.
Coming up next.
Set to go in a rematch of what would come to be known later as the first Super Bowl. The Chiefs and Packers are underway.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The KC offense set to go, led as always by the gunslinger, a former MVP in this league. It's Patrick Mahomes.
And simply put, for many, he's the gold standard for quarterbacks in today's NFL because of his ability to create, find the open man, use all the different arm angles that he has. He's a complete package, and boy, his team loves to play around him.
And Mahomes going to put it up right away.
And his first pass is incomplete.
Partner, I came into this game eager to see how they would hold up in man coverage. And on that play, they held up quite well.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Throwing now is Mahomes. Hopkins on the grab over the middle. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Now Mahomes. That's caught right side by Worthy. And he will have a Chiefs first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people who have to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Here's Mahomes to throw. The hook up on the right side to Hopkins. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That's good for a first down, his 2nd catch of the opening drive.
Well, that's one way and a good way to get things going offensively. One play in, and they're already on the move. The defense, they're hoping that's not a sign of things to come as this game unfolds.
Mahomes going to throw.
That's into the hands of Worthy.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. The end result, 21 yards. And the pocket's been protected pretty good here so far on the opening drive.
We always talk about confidence in runners and catchers and quarterbacks. How about the protection detail? They're not allowing anyone near the guy throwing the football.
Now it's Mahomes again.
That ball caught. It's Rice.
And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown.
Rashee Rice.
28 yards.
And the Chiefs have taken the early lead on the road here at Lambeau.
On paper coming in, you'd say that these guys are the better team by far, and they sort of showed their superiority there on the opening drive.
Yeah, they came in the heavy favorite in this game, and even though they're on the road, they just wiped it away, didn't they? They've just said to everyone, we're the better team. We just showed it to you on this opening drive, and we expect to do it all game long.
Harrison Butker is on for the extra point. And his kick is good to make it 7-0 KC. That time a 6-play drive. And it winds up with the Chiefs hitting pay dirt. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. 6'4" Jordan Love taking the field for the first time. The 2020 first-round pick from Utah State set to lead Green Bay.
And at the start of Jordan Love's NFL career, he had one of the best seats in the stadium watching Aaron Rodgers work. But now he's looking for more than that. Rocket arm, big play potential, and he wants to show this organization that he's capable of being a dependable starter for the foreseeable future.
Love going to break the huddle, lead the Packers up here 1st and 10
at their own 26. First rep of the game for Josh Jacobs. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
2nd down, Jacobs once more.
And he powers his way up past the 30. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
And already down 7-0 after the touchdown a minute ago, so a 3-and-out here would not be ideal for them. Nice job finding his receiver there, and they get the first down.
And they'll send the tight end in motion here. Now Love.
Short throw, he's got Kraft.
And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
And he is out of bounds inside the 35. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a first down.
They hit that crossing route really well. Excellent timing, puts it right on him, and he keeps running.
Yeah, turned it upfield for good yardage. So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory, down at the 33. Love. And that'll be incomplete.
They had their backs up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Running straight ahead is Jacobs. A strong running. Down to the 30 after a gain of 3. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
This will be the 8th play of the drive. It's 3rd and 7. Here's Love.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 11 yards for number 11.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20.
Out of the shotgun, it's Love.
Completed out left to Dobbs.
Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Well, that's not just his first, not his second, already his 3rd completion here on the opening drive. And I think it's safe to say that getting him the ball in this game, one of their top priorities.
And a top priority for the defense has got to be finding ways to cover him. And I don't think you can have one basic coverage to get it done. You have to throw a number of coverages at him, make him think as he's running downfield, and hope you can create a little bit of havoc.
Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
That's a good effort there after the catch. He looked the ball in and then tried to get it to the goal line. What a nice tackle to get him down, but they're set up well now. First and goal at the 1.
Throwing. Love. And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. Jaden Reed, a 1-yard touchdown reception.
And the Packers respond to that opening drive touchdown with one of their own.
An out route there for the score, a quick out route there for the score.
Yeah, you're not really surveying the defense on this one. You're just counting on timing, making this play happen. 1-2, ball's out of his hands, knows where he's going, just puts it to the outside. Touchdown.
On here, Brandon McManus for the point after. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And the result, a Green Bay score. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away.
And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30.
Kansas City taking the field for their second drive.
So both of these teams, Charles, coming off touchdowns now, but this offense, they just had to stand on the sideline, watch their opponent author a really impressive drive to reach the end zone.
Yeah, and I think you're not telling yourself the truth if you don't think there's some one-upsmanship going on right now, because they just had their touchdown answered by a drive of double-digit plays that also found the end zone. Now they want to do something even more impressive to answer that one.
They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that'll bring up second down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
In motion, the tight end, Kelsey.
They'll run out of the gun with Pacheco. And this defense able to plug him up there as he'll get a yard to the 35.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean, or also just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
2 yards still to go. Third down now.
Mahomes now to throw. Throw left side, completion to Rice. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. Call it a loss of 2 there on the play. And that's going to bring up a fourth down.
Made the quick throw there outside the numbers, and you can feel the thought process. They just wanted to get in his hands and let him make a play. But how about the job they did defensively to keep him bottled up? Instead, they tackle him for a loss.
On fourth down, Matt Ariza sent on to punt.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. Working out of the gun. Love. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
Oh, nice defensive effort there, providing the hit as the ball got to the receiver, separates him from the catch, and normally he's a sure-handed target.
Second and 10.
In motion goes the tight end. Love from the gun. He finds his man, complete. That's Reed. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, You're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Love now. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's going to have the Packers first down as this defense unable to hold. It's a 7-yard gain there on 3rd and 2.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
And it'll be a minimum pickup here as it will take us to the end of the first quarter. Back for the second quarter in Green Bay. It's the Packers in possession of the football as they've got a 2nd and 8 forthcoming. To pass, here's Jordan Love. Able to find his man, Kraft. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
To throw now, here's Love.
Short throw, he's got Kraft.
And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. Call it a gain of 3 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Yeah, that one was covered pretty well because they were trying to leak the tight end out into the flat. I think they were hoping he could catch and turn upfield and pick up the first down.
From just shy of midfield, here's 2nd down at 7.
Love looking to throw it. Caught on the right side, Reed. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. The Packers on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. Trying to run for it with Jacobs. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
Back to throw now on 1st down.
Short throw, he's got Kraft.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
I know that halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end.
2nd and a couple.
Play action this time with Love. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
Well, here's your first example of how this guy can beat you in more ways than one because they took away his arm, but he was more than happy to dissect them with his legs for that first down pickup.
Jacobs. Going to be hit and met at the line of scrimmage. They get him down at the 3.
Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal.
Good work there, holding him out on 1st down, and this is going to be a battle down here on the goal line. Can they hold their ground for 2, maybe even 3 more plays?
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal.
Jacobs again. Pushing for the end zone, but he's not going to get there. They stop him just shy of the goal line.
A gain of 2 there on the heels of a 1-yard pickup on 1st.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Love, this is 3rd and goal. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Jordan Love taking it in from a yard out. And the Packers have taken the lead. They were looking to pass the ball there, but they forgot to account for the man with the football.
Yeah, I can hear people right now saying, well, why don't you have a spy in your defense, someone who will dance with him and go where he goes? Well, oftentimes if you utilize a spy, you've taken away someone in coverage as well. And oftentimes, the spy, not as athletic as the guy he's trying to keep up with, so he gets defeated anyway.
And he turns 3rd and goal into a touchdown. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
And now here comes Kansas City. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula that got them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they can get this game tied up.
Now here's Mahomes. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down.
Rashawn Gary that time fighting free and getting to the quarterback.
Now that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. In motion, the tight end, Kelsey. Throwing on 2nd and long. Mahomes.
He'll get this complete to Worthy. And the officials here going to pause the game for a second. Looks like there's an injured Chief on the field. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. Backed up here. Tough spot. Needing 11 yards to pick up the first.
Looking to throw is Mahomes.
That's laid out deep for Rice.
And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
And here's Matt Ariza now.
44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. Call that a 45-yard punt, just 2 yards there on the return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And they fell behind early, but since then, 2 touchdowns and a 14-7 lead.
Yeah, they found the end zone on their first 2 drives, and even more so after the defense gave up the first lead. With these last 2 drives, obviously they inspired their D because they shut them down the last time out. They hope to continue that string.
They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
And his throw's going to be incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. This offense so far on 3rd down, No problems to this point. A perfect 5 for 5. This will be 3rd and 5. Operating from the gun. Love.
That is caught. And he's going to have the Packers first down by about 3 yards or so as they wind up getting 7 there on 3rd and 4.
And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Again, it's Love. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45. 9 yards on the play and a first down. And they're on 3rd and short. They just tried to spread the field. It worked.
And I think that the spreading of the field, the extra receivers, has really become the next in the evolutionary chain in the NFL. Go all the way back in that situation, you're handed to the fullback, right? As we evolve, maybe you pitched it to your tailback. Now you spread the field, and you have your choices of where to throw it and complete it for a first down.
On play action. Love to throw.
Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earn a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. They will run out of the gun with Jacobs. And he's going to be met at about the 43. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout, and we will. We've got an injured Packer on the field.
The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside.
In search of 8 yards on 3rd down. They've already converted 2 of these on this drive, 2 for 2. Back to throw. Love.
Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 17-yard line. Well, that's one way to convert on 3rd down, picking up 26 yards. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the 2nd quarter, 14-7.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
Operating from the gun, Love. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Jaden Reed with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half.
And the Packers go up by 2 touchdowns. Well, CD, that's his 2nd touchdown already. And how about this offense? 3 drives, 3 touchdowns.
An absolute total team effort right now. And let's face it, I don't think he's done. We're still in the first half. There's a lot of time left to go. I don't know what they're going to do on the other side trying to slow him down. But right now, he's feeling it.
Now McManus for the extra point. It's good, and it is now 21-7. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it ends with a Packers touchdown. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Chiefs offense set to go. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
To throw, it's Mahomes. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Hopkins. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable second down.
Here's 2nd and 3.
Here's Mahomes to throw. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. Good work after the catch. Gets him 15 and a first down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Throwing now is Mahomes. It's complete to Hopkins. And he's got this down to the 35. 15 yards last play and 15 yards here this go-around.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
In motion, the tight end, Kelsey. Mahomes going to throw.
That one caught by Rice.
The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1.
Second down and 4.
Again, they'll throw with Mahomes. His throw incomplete.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Now Mahomes.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he will have a Chiefs first down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8.
Mahomes now to throw.
No hesitations. They go right back to Kelsey.
Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that'll make it 2nd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Now 2nd and 5.
Now it's Mahomes again. Quick hitter here. It's complete. The Chiefs quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. From the gun, it's Mahomes. To the back of the end zone, but too high. Over everybody and incomplete.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them out of the end zone as the first half winds down.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. Again, he'll drop to throw. And he'll just get rid of it.
All right, Captain. It's batten down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think they're going to try and dial up on 3rd and goal?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we just seen, I think they're throwing it again, don't you?
I think you have to. I think in this situation, you kind of run out of your running plays, fire another one into the end zone.
Butker's kick here is good, and that will get the disadvantage now back down to 11. Well, not the best first half facing this deficit, but at least they did put 3 on the board before half.
Yeah, it's a little bit like that stormy, cloudy day, and the sun peeks through just for a second. They saw the sun there. They're hoping to see a little bit more of it in the second half.
So still time for the kickoff here. 1 second to go in the half as this one is away.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. 1 second, all that remains.
And they'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. So we're at halftime here at Lambeau with the Packers taking the lead to the break. As we'll send you down to Orlando and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. So it's the Packers set to receive the kick. They've got the lead as well as we are underway in the 3rd quarter. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Packers offense and quarterback Jordan Love heading back out onto the field. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. On the ground, Jacobs will get the 3rd quarter started. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
2nd down, 8 to go from the 28. Love now. Able to find his man, Kraft.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he'll be taken down at about the 45.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Ball spotted at the 45. Here's a 2nd and 7.
And they'll send the tight end in motion. Now Love.
Short throw. He's got Kraft.
The completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
They'll come up now, 3rd and 3. Here's Jacobs from the gun. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 48-yard line. They will run the draw with Jacobs. And this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Ball on the 39. Here's 2nd and a yard. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. 53 yards on the ground for him now as he's done that on 15 carries.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Love looking to throw it.
That's taken in, Dontavian Wicks.
And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. That was the 8th play of the drive, so a somewhat fitting pickup of 8 yards.
Now a 2nd and 2.
Jacobs going to try the middle, and he stopped immediately there. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
Well, how about the big guy there showing some agility? He just flowed from his D-tackle position in order to make that play.
3rd and 2.
Here's a handoff to Jacobs. And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a 1st down. 4 yards on the pickup. Good enough to extend the drive.
And Brandon, you know that expression? He just does what he does. It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL. And all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key 1st downs and big runs.
Got Dobbs over the middle.
That'll go for a gain of 7, and it'll be 2nd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
He'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the 1st down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
Play fake. Here's Love.
He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield.
Just a yard, but that's all they needed. And by the slimmest of margins, it'll be 1st and goal. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
This is caught. A gain of 7 that time. 2nd goal. They'll run it with Jacobs. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Josh Jacobs takes it in from a yard out.
And the Packers take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
Ah, what a luxury it is to be able to call on a bowling ball like Josh Jacobs down near the goal line. 5'10", 220 pounds, and he's not afraid to get in there and get the tough yards. He finishes off this drive with a touchdown run.
Now McManus to tack on the extra point. And the lead is up to 18 now. That drive, a long one, spanning 15 plays. And it was capped off by a touchdown run from Josh Jacobs. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. So here's the Chiefs offense ready for their first reps in half number 2. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 27. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. The hook up on the right side to Hopkins. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's 2nd down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
From the 31, here's 2nd and 5. Pacheco gets it up the gut. And he'll get this to about the 34, a gain of just 3. That ground game contained again there, Charles, and that's really a big reason that they're trailing right now.
And give a lot of credit to that defensive front. That's exactly what they worked for all week, to try and take away the run game, make them one-dimensional. In the battle of game plans, theirs has been superior.
Looking to throw is Mahomes.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Chiefs first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
On 1st and 10, here's Pacheco.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Another modest gain there on that one, and I think, Charles, you can probably pin part of the deficit on a failure on their part to really get this ground game established.
Yeah, and they've really struggled to be multidimensional in this one, haven't they, partner? Because they have to be extremely one-dimensional now if they hope to get back into this game. They'll have to do it by throwing the football and hope to have success through the air.
And he will maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. And that's also all for this 3rd quarter of play. Back now at Lambeau. It's the Chiefs with a football, but with work to do on the scoreboard, they trail as we start quarter number 4. Now here's Mahomes. He juked him, and this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 36. A solid gain of 15 yards, and the sticks move. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Working from the gun, Mahomes. Throw left side, completion to Rice. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll give him a short yardage situation here for 2nd down. He'll drop to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break.
and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
To throw, it's Mahomes.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will have a Chiefs first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. Here's Mahomes to throw. That'll be caught by Rice. Now a loose football. The ball comes out.
But it looks like one of the DBs has it.
And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely.
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. And the question... So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. The fumble on first down. Now here's second down.
Throwing now is Mahomes. And it's caught.
And the Chiefs are looking at first and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line. Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the fourth. But a nice first down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where, as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution. Even though the scoreboard is going against you, you want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue.
That is caught by Rice for a Kansas City touchdown. A great effort there. His second touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Chiefs have got it back to a 2-score game here in the fourth. So a little bit of a letdown there defensively. I mean, look, you're still 2 scores to the good, CD, but things may be a little more uncomfortable than they had hoped.
Yeah, if you'd kept them out of the end zone there, this game's over. You've locked the door on them. Instead, it's still open a little bit, and they've got a puncher's chance.
Extra point by Butker is on target.
And the lead is down to 11 at 28-17. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. The Packers offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Now 2nd and 3. On the handoff, this is Jacobs. And this will be a Packers first down as the tackle made at the 35-yard line.
And this is exactly what you're looking to do offensively. If you can start stringing some runs together like this, you'll keep churning out first downs, and that's going to put you in a great position to carry this one home.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Once again, it's Jacobs. And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Here's Love. And now a fumble. The ball's out.
Oh, and one of the linebackers has got it.
And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line.
Partner, that one looked like it was over. I mean, they had control, had the football, and the defense had to make a play in order to keep them in the game. That's exactly what they did.
And now that door ajar, 2-score game, so hold on here, not done in the fourth. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over.
They trail by 2 scores in the fourth, and their defense did its job getting the fumble recovery. Now time to see what this offense has left in the tank.
Now after the fumble recovery, it's Mahomes. He finds Hopkins complete. So the completion good for 6 yards, and it's second down. And a good start there on first down. They've got to have this drive.
No doubt about it. Down a couple of scores. They have to find a way to put it in the end zone. Chunk plays, explosive plays. That will be the key to this drive.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on second down. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. Throw left side complete. That's Rice. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. He's been big. 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a first down here. But correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Now Mahomes.
That's into the hands of Worthy.
And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. 23 yards, the final tally.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a 1-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try and get the ball back again.
To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Yes, sir. How about an attaboy there on first down? Got his hand in and knocked it away.
Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, second and goal. They'll bring one of the tight ends in motion left. Mahomes now to throw. And he's got it. They'll wind up getting 7 on the completion, but they'll still be faced now with a 3rd and goal situation.
Such a tough position to defend near the line, even when you add a second defender. But the big man shrugged off the extra body and made the play call a success.
This crowd doing all they can. Here's 3rd and goal.
Now it's Mahomes again. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he is going to lose yardage here.
Completed pass brings up a 4th down situation. Do you play analytics on this one? Well, what do your analytics tell you about going for it here? I wonder what they would say.
They tell me you're down by this margin, 4th quarter. You're going. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. They're looking at a 4th and goal here as they search for a late score. So on 4th down, Mahomes off, Harrison Butker on for the Chiefs field goal. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. Butker's kick here is good, and that'll make this an 8-point game. So you knew one way or another that they needed the 2 scores. They get the easy one out of the way. Now they'll get the ball back, hopefully.
Yeah, and the question is, how do you accomplish that? Do you onside kick it? Or since you have all 3 timeouts, do you kick it deep? To me, I'm playing field position. With all 3 timeouts, I kick it deep and try and pin them back there.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Oh, a good return up past the 30.
The home team's offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And he has been masterful so far in leading this offense. He's kept the mistakes to... About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. And this game not quite over yet, and we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
So they come up on second down. If they can get another run like we just saw, it would likely put an end to this thing.
He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. And he has a Packer first down, and that should be the one that finishes the script.
Running straight ahead is Jacobs. And gets by him, and now a little daylight. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. The Chiefs quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. And they take a knee.
Now 2nd and 11 from the 32.
They'll run right here with Jacobs.
And he works his way free all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone.
It'll go as a gain of 12, and that should just about wrap this one up.
At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
So it's all over. A Green Bay victory. And I think you'd have to label this an upset. Yes, they were at home, but still an upset. They got the job done.
Yeah, even being at home was not enough for people to think they were going to pull this one off. But give them credit for playing not just a smart football game, but one where they were going to be physical about the whole thing. They put up their fists and said, let's fight, and showed their crowd that they were into this one.
Then that's the thing. The crowd responded. They were really good in this game.
Yeah, they were not going to be pushed around. They were not going to be intimidated. They refused to back down and came away with a victory.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. The Packers are winners here as we say so long from Lambeau.